Mark Connolly and Rick Ray are registered representatives and financial advisors with Park Avenue Securities, a registered broker deal and investment advisor. The information you will hear on this show is for information purposes only, and individual situations vary. The information should be relied upon only when coordinated with individual professional advice.
Do you think there are forces out there that are keeping you from achieving your financial goals? Deep in your heart, do you believe the game may be rigged against you? If you do, you need to listen to Big Money, Big Daddy with Mark Connolly and Rick Ray. They'll teach you how to avoid Big Daddy's wealth-destroying tactics. The Big Money, Big Daddy show starts right now.
All right, you are listening to the Big Money, Big Daddy show. Today, you've got me, Mark Connolly, flying solo, but boy, do we have a good show for you. We have got so many things about money that we need to be talking about. I don't even know where to begin. I am very excited about bringing some information to you today that is going to matter. It's going to change your life if and only if you actually implement the things we're going to talk about, but that's what we try to do on this show. We try to put information that's real, that you can implement, that will make a difference. And I'm kind of thinking we're going to really push through this through the entire rest of the year, because I know people start thinking, I need to put together my plan and I need to get ready in 2017. So I'm going to equip you with some questions today. These questions are questions that if you manage your own money, that you're going to need to be asking yourself. These questions would be what you would ask your broker, your financial advisor, to see what the answers are. Because in my opinion, if you don't know the answers to these questions, you're setting yourself up for what could possibly be a bad situation long term. And, you know, we're already seeing lots of volatility. We're seeing concerns. There's fear out there in the markets, and it's gonna continue to be that way. In fact, I would venture out on a limb and say there's always fear in the market. There's always elections and famines and wars, but that's also why, in my belief, that the market actually delivers the returns that it does. Nothing in life is for free, people. If it was going to be always smooth sailing, well, that'd be like buying a bond. Have you checked what bonds are paying lately? It's because there's risk in the market. Long-term investors are rewarded. Short-term investors, if they get lucky, are rewarded. And if they don't, they lose. When we look at the data that's out there, to me, it's amazing because you look at the market, Dalbar does a study, and if you look at the market, it's 9-10%, depending on the time frames, average return per year. And you look at the actual average investor, and generally it's between 3 and 4%. And why is that? I mean, what are the reasons for that? There's many. And at the end of the day, I don't think if people don't understand that behavior is one of the biggest issues when it comes to investing. I think our egos get in the way. I think we think, oh, I'm sophisticated and I know so much and I don't let the media sway me and my behavior is perfect. But the reality is our behavior can get in the way. And it's done it for all of us, okay? And, you know, it's when I got in the industry, I thought that, you know, trying to guess the market's what you're supposed to be. I mean, there's a talking head on TV today, and they'll tell you why the market's going up for the remainder of the year. At this point, they'll give you a bunch of facts that are all prudent facts, and then there'll be someone that comes on a few minutes later that says why it's going down, and they'll give you some facts that are all legitimate facts. Guess what? One of them gets to say, I told you so. And the interesting thing is if you continue to follow them in their predictions, you'll find out they don't get it right every time, because if somebody knew how to get it right every time, you'd know about them. You would have heard about them, but no one has. They're talking heads. The only way that we have discovered to be successful is if you're going to put money in the stock market, choose the right amount that you can stick with, because there's always going to be fear. And I don't know if the next 20% is going to be up or down. I know there's plenty of people who have their opinion on if it's going to be up or down, and they'll tell you why, and they're normally trying behind that to maybe sell you something that aligns with what their reasoning is. But I just hadn't found anybody that is successful long-term at trying to do that. All I'm focused on is what the next 100% is, because I believe it's going to be up. In fact, I'd say if it's down, you're not going to care about your money. That's where I'm going to go with that one. So I think that we forget that free markets work, that there is an efficiency in the marketplace. Yes, there's ups and downs. And it's, not just my opinion. This is the opinion of many brilliant minds in the financial world, and people that like Markowitz and Fama and French. And I know there are other people who try to come out and say, oh, they're not efficient. There is a way to time it, but they haven't shown me the proof that you can time something based on if times are, if you have fear. They haven't shown me their ability to actually get consistent returns that would have been any better than just staying in it, with way less of a headache, by the way, and just choosing your risk tolerance. I mean, it's not like we don't make moves in the market. I mean, we believe if markets are going down, you should sell some of your fixed income and you should be buying more equities, which, by the way, is the opposite of what most people do. But I think people miss the point, and all the fear, and the media just magnifies this. And it's very hard to get your mind to overcome the perceptions that we may have. Maybe many of you, at this point aren't happy with everything going on politically. Some of you are happy, but you have perceptions that can impact what's going on. You have instincts that of just how you naturally want to react, especially when there's a moment of fear. It's, do you want to fight or flee, as they say, right? And, that's all magnified by the media. And you have to get your mind to overcome it. Somehow you have to get your mind to overcome that, and properly, before something happens, choose the right risk level so that you're putting the appropriate amount in the markets, because there's a lot of good safe income strategies out there. We talk about them all the time. There's a lot of things you can do that is more safe and secure. You don't have to put all your money in the market. But the money that you do, and we believe you should with some, absolutely. It's one of the greatest wealth creation tools ever made, ever known to man and womankind. How do you get your mind over all that? Well, number one is you got to begin with education. You need to understand how the market works. And I think that's easier said than done. I think a lot of times if I asked everybody that's listening to the show right now and said, do you know how the market works? You go, yes. Explain it. Go ahead, try right now. Try to explain it. Give your best explanation of how the market works. You see, we do coaching every single month where we have our investors come in. We have people that are checking us out come in, because we feel like there doesn't need to be some secret. We are a company that believes in getting the truth out there. That's what Wealth Design Group does. We got a session that's a coaching session that's coming up November 17th, and we're going to talk about reclaiming your American dream, getting your mind over, out of the mess that's out there, understanding what information that the media has is actually valuable. What information that they have is a waste of your time and just causes you sleepless nights and stress that's just unnecessary. We're going to help you know this stuff. Yeah, we'll talk about the election and everything too, so that we can, we'll give you some peace of mind, show you some data that I think you're really going to want to see. We'll cover all those things. November 17th, it's at 6:30 in the evening. We're going to do this one at Perry's. So if that's something that you would like to learn more about or RSVP, just text the keyword daddy to 72727. Text daddy to 72727. We'll get you some information for those of you that just like a good old phone call. 713-826-0426. 713-826-0426, or you can email us at bmbd@wealthdesigngroup.net. That is November 17th. You want to know about the election, you want to know about the impact, we're going to be there for you. That's how we operate. And we'll go over some of these questions that I'm covering on the radio show today, because you got to, if you're managing the money yourself, you got to ask yourself these questions. If you've got someone managing money for you, you need to ask them these questions and see if they can really answer them, or if they just give you a bunch of blah, 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 blah. That's what we're about, arming you, equipping you with the right questions. So we'll definitely dive in those. I got some other things I think would be good. We did a presentation recently for some tax attorneys, and we kind of were going over some of the ins and outs of if someone dies with 401ks and IRAs, what are the distribution rules of those? So that might be something that impacts you. So I'll make sure that we dive into a little bit of that information too, because I think we can mix that in with some of these questions. And well, I mean, I just got a lot of stuff here. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get through it all, but I am going to make an attempt at doing that. I kind of open with the fear that's out there, and I think it's important for everyone to understand that this is normal. This too shall pass. And actually, not only will it pass, then there'll be something else that's even more scary. Okay? So get used to it. Find a way to invest long term. Because as I said, short term, yeah, if you guess it right, you make some money. If you guess it wrong, then it hurts. And most people, even though they say they're long term investors, they're really short term. That's the reality. And the studies all show long-term returns. Dalbar study between 9 and 10. Actual average investors getting 3 or 4 because they keep trying to guess it. And even if you get it right once, twice, do you really think you're going to keep getting it right? You ever played, let's do roulette. You know, you're picking black, white. Even if you get on roll, it ain't going to catch up with you. There is no crystal ball of investing. So you need to invest for the long term. All right. So we got a little bit of time here. So we'll dive into the first question. Now, we talk a lot of math and science on this show, and we love our math and science. But I'm gonna start with the first question you need to ask yourself. Okay, and I actually think it'd be good to ask your money manager too. It might be interesting what their answer is. But have you discovered what your true purpose for money is? That which is more important than the money itself? Because don't we always say money isn't everything, and money doesn't mean everything to me? We all say that. So what does it mean to you? Could you say in a couple of words, or one word, better yet, what money means to you? What is money for? What is the point of you working your butt off, investing your dollars? You always want to get this big rate of return, but why? It'd be really good to know that, because it might impact how you invest. It might impact the risks that you should or should not take. It might impact how much money you need to save to be financially independent. Such a strange question, right, from a money firm. But I'm here to tell you, you answer that, then I'll go over all the math and science and show you how to win. But first, you got to be honest. So you need to ask yourself that. You need to ask yourself if you're even in the stock market. I already told you the other question. Do you know how the stock market works? Everybody says yes. Okay, fine. Now tell me. See if you can say it out loud while you're driving right now. It'd be interesting to see if you fumble over your answer. That's okay. Let's be honest about these questions, right? But those are the first three that I think are great, and we'll definitely dive into these at our session on November 17th at 6:30 in the evening at Perry's. Man, we're going to cover a lot of material. We're going to talk about how to reclaim your American dream, understanding election results, what to expect, how to deal with mentally how you want to invest your money as you move forward. Big items. And we're almost full as it is. So if this is something you want to come to, I recommend you just give us a call right now, 713-826-0426. You can also, if you just want to get some information, you can text the keyword daddy to 72727. That's 72727, and you'll get an automated response with some information. And you also can check us out on our Facebook page. You can email us, bmbd@wealthdesignGroup.net. Facebook page is just the Big Money Big Daddy. And we got great stuff for you. I want to see you come to that session. I think it'll make a big difference. And it's likely that will be our last one of the year. We haven't made that final decision yet, but you need to be there, and it's filling up. It'll be a big deal, and it'll help you. This is the Big Money Big Daddy.